Hello, what's up, Facebook? What's up, world? This is A.L. Johnson, owner of A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency. And today we're going to start our series where we basically highlight a small business in the Kansas City area, get to know the business owner and what it is they're doing for the community. I'm really excited about this one in particular. I have with me today the property prince, Asa Barnes. How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Thank you for having me. It is a great day, and I'm just glad to be able to share it with your people and maybe even learn something myself today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I appreciate having you on. I was taking a look at your page, man. You are a man of many talents, man. You got a lot going on, and so you're a father, a singer. You've been a teacher, an educator, and your most recent venture is that of a real estate agent. Tell me, how did you go from being a singer, being on stage, crooning the ladies and doing your thing, to being an educator, a realtor? Those don't seem to go together. So how did that work out for you?
Right, right. Yeah, I totally understand that. And I've been told, it's like, you do so many things, how do you stay focused? And I'm just like, why do you have to pick? If you have a passion, if you want to be good at something, if you put in the time and the effort, you're eventually going to be successful. And that's just the way that I feel about everything that I do. From being an educator, I love teaching kids. I love teaching music. I'm a singer. I have a degree in music. But one day I just decided, it's really time to do something for me. I like to forge my own path and to make my own way. And so in order to do that, I knew that I had to have a grind. I had to have a passion. I had to have a hustle, because when you're working for yourself, when you are an entrepreneur, it is not easy. And so I had to think, well, what is it that I can do that I feel comfortable about connecting with people the way that I do with kids and making a difference, because I like to lead. And so real estate, it made sense to me to do it on my own, to be able to help people buy and sell their homes, buy and sell property, and to still connect with them. So that's kind of how I got into that.
Got it. So how long have you been a realtor now?
Yes, I've been a realtor for about 2.5 years now. It seemed so short, but it's 2.5 years, and I'm right along with it and doing well.
Well, like they say, time flies when you're having fun. I want to congratulate you. Man, because dreams definitely come true. I saw a post that you made about a day ago, and you said that you have been wishing, you have been hoping, you have been praying for $1 million listing. And not only did God supply you with a $1 million listing, it was a $2 million listing. So can you kind of take us through that process, and what did that look like for you? How did you feel?
Well, yeah. I'm glad to have the opportunity to serve my client, and it just, when you get into real estate, you just never know what it's always different from the houses that you look at, from the properties that you look at, and primarily I'm a residential realtor. But I do have the capability and the license to be able to serve on the commercial level. And so this opportunity, it was definitely, I worked for it, and I made a connection with someone actually through an entertainment engagement. I was a host at an event, and after the event, I got with the owner of the venue, and I just said, hey, who do you know that is ready to buy or to sell real estate? And over a couple of conversations, he said, well, actually, I have some property. And then he mentioned his property, this commercial piece of land that he had. And I said, well, I'd love the opportunity to be able to serve and to be able to help you. And he gave me an opportunity. And it definitely came from manifesting that. I said it to myself. I meditated on that, not necessarily the dollar amount, but just the opportunity to be able to serve on a higher level. And I'm just a believer that if you have the faith, if you focus on it, if you talk about it, if you eat it, breathe it, and sleep it, then it has to eventually manifest itself. And so that's how that came about.
Man, well, congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit about the property? I know you generally deal in residential, and so for this listing, this is your biggest listing to date. Can you tell us a little bit about the property for someone who may be listening and they just may have a little bit of interest?
Sure. Yes, it's a great property in Overland Park, Kansas, right next to Leetwood. It's on 151st Street between Metcalf and Knoll, and it's in the midst of a commercial district with their office buildings, as well as a community center. There's a YMCA, I believe, that's over there. But there's also in the midst of some houses. And so this particular property is right next door to an apartment complex. And there are 4 houses that are on these lots. And so the owner, he wants to sell these houses all in one package, all in one lot. So the investor or the business owner that could come through could rent them out and hold them for positive cash flow for a period of time. And then maybe in a later time, maybe demolish the homes and just build from the ground up, maybe build a retail store or to build duplexes or whatever that may be. But it's a very, very unique piece of land right in the middle of Overland Park, where a high traffic area is right off of 151st Street. So for more details, you can just get with me and I'll be glad to give them to you.
So how'd you come up with the name, the Property Prince? What's that about? The Property Prince.
Well, when I got in real estate, there are a lot of people out here, and we're all trying to separate ourselves. And I just said, well, I have this little edge about me. I mean, I'm not quirky, so to say, but I like to have fun, and I'm a positive person. And so, someone who I really admire in the entertainment industry is Will Smith. It's one of my favorite entertainers. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to get into this real estate thing, what kind of personality, what kind of persona am I going to have? And I'm like, I'm the prince. I'm not going to be the prince forever, but that's my persona. That's how I feel. I'm positive. I'm fun. I'm ready to dance. I'm ready to laugh. And so definitely working with me is a great experience, but it's very prestigious. It's on a higher level. I do big things in a big way. And so to work with me and to be in my space, that's the type of personality that I give. So I'm the property prince. If you're gonna buy some real estate with me, a house, we're gonna have fun along the way. But it's also gonna be a great experience where it's serious and you're getting the most value out of your time. So that's me, the property prince.
That's awesome. So we got a question here. One of the viewers, she said that she heard you mention that you have the ability to also handle commercial property. She wants to know, is there a different license that covers residential versus commercial? Is there any difference there?
Actually, if you have a license, if you're licensed to sell real estate, at least in Missouri and Kansas, you can do either commercial or residential. It doesn't matter. However, there are certifications that will qualify you to sell commercial, to sell on that level. And if you want to work with business owners and with big, huge corporations, then it would be best that you do have those certifications to show that you are experienced in that area. There are many real estate companies. Some just do residential, and then others do commercial. And if you're affiliated with those commercial real estate companies, then they'll ask you to do extra things, to get extra certifications. It costs a little more money to be plugged into certain databases and websites to advertise listings. So it's a bit of a higher level, so to say, but also the gains are bigger on the commercial end.
Man, I see you've got a very, very positive attitude. And so I've got a specific question here for you. I talked to a few different real estate agents. One of them, he was a little down, in his spirit. He felt like there's too many real estate agents. So for someone who just got in the game within the past 2 years, you went from an average property sale value of a couple $100,000 to now you've got a $2 million listing. You've been able to make the transition from your old career to a new career and be able to support your family. And so here's my question. You see on Facebook and on all social media, there's a few different things that a lot of people are into. A lot of people want to become real estate agents. They want to become insurance agents. There's a lot of people doing credit repair. You see these themes recurring. My question is, did you have any hesitation in getting into real estate because of the number of agents? And if that was a concern for you, how did you overcome that?
I think I did. Not necessarily the fact that everyone was a real estate agent. It's just I questioned my own work ethic. Did I have what it took to be the best me that I could be? And I had to more or less prove it to myself that I could do it. Sales, whether it's real estate, whether it's a mortgage, whether you're a mortgage lender, whether you're an insurance agent, there's room enough for everyone. There's business for everyone. There's enough for anyone to ever get in their life. It's just how consistent and how persistent are you, and how much do you believe in yourself that you can go and get your share of. And there are thousands of homes in the Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas metropolitan area. What's stopping me from selling even 5% of them? If I sold 5% of the homes in the KC metro area, I would be a quadruple multimillionaire. And so you don't need to have everybody. You don't. But you do have to believe that you have something of value that you can provide. You're not just selling a house. You are helping people. And when you have that mindset, the business will find you. It will find you. So if you're discouraged, get back to the basics and doing what you need to do to get business. You got to get out of bed every day. Just because you work for yourself, it doesn't mean that you don't work. You just work for yourself. So you put in the same hours for yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here's the thing too. You just went from, because I have a men's group. It's called Elevating Men. Definitely want you to check that out. I'll probably try to pull you in on that when you have time. But in being a family man, you have 4 children. Now, I'm sure when you were in the teaching space, you have a defined set of hours, so they know what time daddy's going to be home, and all of that. As an entrepreneur, you have to put in however much time it takes, and so your schedule, I'm sure, is a little less predictable than it was before. How do you handle that in dealing with your children and your family? Just setting the expectation of your work hours and you being able to provide for them.
That's a really good question. I haven't really thought about that much, but I do see what I've done. Because you're right, my hours are not as predictable as they were at one time. I've just always been a person that wants to take advantage of opportunities, and I communicate very well up front. So being an entertainer, a performer, sometimes I do have to stay a little later. Sometimes, I may have to show houses a little bit late. But I think what's important is that the time is still spent. And so if I can't go out on the weekend with the kids, then probably during the week or during the day, I'm doing something with them, or I'm picking them up after school, or we're spending time during the week. But the time is still spent. The conversations on the phone are still had. The text messages, we're still having them. And so I think it's just a matter of having the time. You can have it anywhere, but you still have to make the time. It doesn't matter if it's on a weekend. It doesn't matter even if it's on a holiday. But did you check in? Did you connect? Did you go and eat on another day? And I think that's what's important. So that has helped me to sort of balance things out and to still stay connected with my family, even when my job can be demanding and I can be gone for a certain amount of time. And then there's sometimes when I'm at home all the time. So it varies.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. So let's jump into a little bit about the real estate. I just like for the audience to get to know a little bit about you. You're a stand-up guy. You're a family man. You're doing great things. But I've got some specific real estate questions here. The last one on the family thing, though. What would you say, just as someone who's building a family, wanting to leave a legacy, how important is the home ownership piece to legacy building?
Wow, I want to say that home ownership is probably the most effective, the first most effective, and then the easiest way to create generational wealth. When you own a home, real estate is one of the biggest investment that appreciates over time. And so in most cases, not all, but in most cases, if you buy a home today, regardless of what it costs, several years from now, it'll be worth more than when you bought it. And that gap or that distance in between those two, from when you bought it and what it's worth after so many years, is called equity. You can always use that equity to your advantage. You can take it out. You can make home improvements. You can improve your home. You can take that equity out and you can go to help send your kid to college if need be. If you get into a bind, hope that you don't. But if you do, you can borrow against your own house. Take a loan out against yourself on your house and pay yourself back. If you pay rent, you can never do that. Once your lease is up, you move out, you move on, or you can't claim anything on it at the end of the year. And so that is a great way to set up generational wealth, because you can keep that home. And then if you decide to move, you can move out and keep that for cash flow. You can get a tenant in there to continue to pay that mortgage and make a little bit extra on it and get the tax benefits. Or you can sell, like I said, you can sell the home. There's so many things that you can do with real estate. You can will it to your family members, your children upon your death. They can keep that home. It continues to appreciate in value. And so acquiring property in general, it could be a house or just any property, it tends to appreciate in value over time. So that is why it's the easiest way to get started. And of course, after a while, you get into investments. I'm not going to go too far down that road because we're talking about real estate. But real estate is It's key. It's essential to anyone's portfolio for financial growth and for wealth. So I strongly recommend that you get some real estate. Get you a house, get you a piece of land, something.
Right. So yeah, they ain't making any more land. They ain't making any more of that. So you might as well get it while you can. Now Kansas City specifically, man, it's man, the city's changing like rapidly. Like my office is on 63rd Street, right? And so like right up on 75th and Paseo, I noticed that they put in a bike lane. And I've been in Kansas City for, pretty much my whole life, and there's never been a bike lane. You know what I mean? Like that's just the dynamics are different. As a matter of fact, I was over on 58th and Euclid. I remember those houses were going for at one time 30, 40,000. I saw a couple listed for, well over 100. What's going on with Kansas City? What's pushing the prices up?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs. There we go.
No, just kidding. Not the Chiefs. There are a lot of factors that are driving housing prices right now. You have to remember that in every community, every neighborhood, there's a cycle. There's a cycle of new growth where the homes are brand new. They're new construction, they're built up, and then families will live in them for 20, 30 years, then they'll move on. Then there'll be a new couple, a new family that comes in. They may live there for 20, 30 years. Now a house is roughly 60 years old. Guess what? The neighborhood starts to go down a little bit, starts to go down. And then it even starts to deteriorate. Then these homes are old, they're distressed, and they may not have repairs. Then what happens? Investors, smart people who know how to invest in real estate will go in and rehab these homes. They'll fix them up and they'll sell them and bring the value back up again. Now the neighborhood starts to flourish again. It is a cycle of real estate. It's a cycle of any area. So Kansas City is even in the middle of that. Okay, the inner city is old, 100-year-old homes, 100 historic homes even. And so it's a prime place because of the cost of living to come in and to renovate these places and sell them again. And so, I mean, it's kind of along with supply and demand. Right now, housing inventory is low across the nation, which means that no one is putting their house on the market. So anytime a house does go on the market, everyone is fighting for the same house. That's why you have multiple offers. That's why houses are being sold for more than asking price. So there are several factors that are pertaining to this. It's just that Kansas City is in the midst of change. Everything is going to change. And so we're seeing it real time. 20, 30 years from now, our children and our grandchildren, they won't remember the change. It'll just be what it is. But we're seeing this change. And so I think it's important to get smart and to embrace it and to find out how you can be a part of it versus to wondering, I think this is bad or gentrification.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's a really good point that you made because when it comes to gentrification, a lot of times people make it about race and a lot of other things. But from the explanation that you just gave us, it really is a matter of people within certain areas not upkeeping their properties, and that in and of itself creates an opportunity for people to come from outside communities and realize gains that the people that were already in that community very well could have got on their own. Am I hearing that correct?
Yeah, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. And we have to realize as a community, that is going to happen anyway. It's going to happen. So why not let us be a part of that? Why don't we have the contractors and the groups and real estate companies that come in to refurbish and to remodel our own neighborhoods, sell it back to each other? Because it's going to happen. But if we don't have the knowledge, if we don't have the money, if we don't have the credit, then it's not going to happen. And we have to watch those opportunities go by. And then we're sitting on the sidelines complaining and saying, well, they're taking advantage. No. How are you taking advantage? So it's really about mindset and then getting the education and the tools to be a part of what's going on.
Got it. So with things being as they are, we know the prices have been pushed up. For someone who's looking to get into real estate, whether it's just purchasing their first home or say on the investment side, they're looking to make a career out of it. What are some good areas to look into? Because we know some of the areas are maybe kind of too far gone, and like you said, the inventory is low. People are holding on to the properties that they do have. What are the big opportunities in real estate today in Kansas City?
I think there's always an opportunity. There's always an opportunity to buy and sell in any market, in any position, whether it's summer, spring, winter. It does not matter. There's always an opportunity. As far as the best opportunity, I think that's relative. It's whatever fits your needs. If you could say the best opportunity is in investment properties, well, it may be a lower rate of return. Or you may say the best opportunity is in luxury properties. Well, it may take you a little bit longer to find those properties. So I think it's all relative as far as what you want to do. I think it's important just to find something that is consistent for the way that you want to live, that supports your lifestyle. If you want to make money in real estate, if you approach it as a hobby, then it'll just be a hobby. You'll make hobby money. If you approach it as a career, then it will be career money. So it's just about your intent and what you want to do. Like I said, I've been talking to investors. They're renovating homes as we speak, and homes are being flipped every day. There are homes that are being bought on wholesale. If you know about wholesaling, there's opportunity. It's there. Just pick what you want to do. Don't spread yourself too thin. Just pick what you want to do and then go at it full force.
Got it. Got it. We got a question from the audience, and it's in reference to new construction. And so, considering everything that you said, the housing market is pretty well saturated with buyers, not enough sellers. For someone who may be considering buying a new home, would purchasing a plot of land and just, building new construction, what are the opportunities there? Do you see that as a more viable means of getting into a home now?
Yes, definitely. That is a means to do it. If you have the ability, if you have the money to build new construction, I think it's a great idea. The benefits of new construction: it's a brand new home, smells great, new paint, new everything. You don't have to worry about any repairs, probably for 10 to 15 years, not, at least anything major. You don't have to worry about replacing it. Nice neighborhood, everything is clean and everything is neat. Some of the when you move in, if it's new construction, you can pick the paint. You can pick water faucets and lighting fixtures. All of that comes with new construction if you build from the ground up. However, if you move into a home that's already been built, a resale, then you might have to make some improvements, make some repairs. Depending on the age of the home, you're going to have to come in and do some work. If you're okay with putting in some split equity and working on it yourself, or hiring someone, that may be a good idea for you. But if not, if you just want to come in and just not think about anything, then hey, new construction is really, really good. It's really.
That's something I thought about personally is, new construction, just getting a plot of land and having a home built. I assume, of course, that the developers are doing it for profit. It's not a non-for-profit thing. They're in it to make money. And so if you were to purchase your own land and build a home, do you see that as a situation where you would spend less than if you bought an existing property that's fairly new?
I think that varies. It's just important to know the value of whatever it is you're buying.
Okay.
If you have more acreage, a bigger lot, then of course the lot itself is going to be worth a lot. It's going to be more money. And then you have to build a house on top of that. A builder may come in and purchase all of the lots and then build the home on it and discount based upon the fact that they're building on that particular lot. So I think it's just important, like I said, to know the value of the lot, know the value of the home, how it relates to the homes around it in that particular area, neighborhood, or subdivision. And a great person that can help you determine that is a great realtor.
Definitely. So speaking about that, help from a realtor versus helping yourself. What are the benefits of, say if a person has a home for sale and it's a hot market right now. What are the benefits to working with a realtor versus just going for sell by owner?
Definitely. As a realtor, and I know that there are people that may disagree, but I'm gonna tell you the real deal. Okay. Yes, I am a realtor. Yes, I am going to get paid to do what I do because it's a service that I provide. So let's go to the doctor. Let's go get checked for cancer or for a cold or any disease that you may have. You're not just going to have anybody in that room diagnosing you and telling you what to do, what medicine to take. You're going to have a professional, someone who is licensed, someone who has experience, who's taken the board and all of that. And the same thing with the house. If you don't sell a house every day, if that's not something you do, Why are you trying to do what a professional can do? A realtor is a professional. A realtor reads contracts every day. A realtor knows the law. A realtor knows the market. They study the market. They know the ins and outs. They help keep you on track, on target. They have different options to help you consider. They're the professional. So if you go at it alone, you're welcome to do that. However, if you don't know the laws, if you don't know the contracts, you're putting yourself at risk. And so the realtor is there to protect you and your interests. Yes, they're going to get paid, but that's the service that they provide. A realtor is worth their weight in gold, in my opinion. And I think that everyone should be represented whenever they purchase a home or they sell a home. If you decide to get that education on your own, if you study it, then that's great. But if you don't do this every day, if this is not your expertise, then I strongly suggest that you get a realtor. A realtor is going to market your property. A realtor is going to make sure that it's seen by thousands of people, other real estate agents. A real estate agent is going to come in and give you the lowdown and say, hey, you need to fix this if you want it to sell. Or let's put this chair here so that your home looks better. Or you may need some air freshener. You can't smell it because you're nose blind. I'm telling you, put air freshener here. That's what a realtor does. So we have a lot of hats that we wear, but that's just a little bit of what we do.
Awesome. So for someone who is, it's on their wish list, they want to buy a home here within the next year or two. What are some things that they need to be thinking about and considering? What are some things that they need to do to be prepared to become a homeowner?
Definitely. If you want to buy a house, it comes down to first the money. You got to have the money. So there's two ways. Either you have the money sitting in a bank account ready to go. So if you want to buy a $300,000 house, you can have $300,000 sitting in the bank ready to go. If you don't have cash, then you need to get a loan. If you need to get a loan, then that means that you need to have credit. That means that your name has to be good. You have to pay your bills on time. You have to have some money put back. So work on your credit. If you have credit issues, I'm not a credit person, not judging you. We all have life. COVID has hit us hard. But you need to get your credit together. Get on a plan. Get on a track that says, hey, in 6 months, I'm going to raise my score from here to here so that you can qualify for a mortgage. You need to qualify. Scores are roughly around 640, 650 right now to get qualified for a mortgage. But I strongly suggest you do that first. Get your money situation together. And then once you get that together, then you can start looking at some homes. Make sure that you have something for a down payment. You can't just walk into a house for free. You can, but you need to read the fine print, because if a lender tells you there's no money down, you got to pay something somewhere. They might put it in the house itself, but you have to pay something somewhere. So I strongly suggest you save some money for your down payment, maybe some closing costs, put some money back. Depends on the price of the home. But credit and then having something in savings is just the ticket as far as preparing yourself to move into a home if you want to do it this year.
So to give someone just a ballpark figure, I know it depends on the price of the property, but what's a average down payment and closing cost for, say, a $200,000 home?
Sure. Well, there are different types of loans. There's if you're in the military, you can get a VA loan, and the benefit of a VA loan is there is literally no money down. The government does that for you. That's a great asset to have. So if you're married to a veteran, or if you're a veteran yourself, take advantage of that. There are also conventional loans, and there are FHA loans. Conventional loans are private loans by private lenders. They usually require more money down, maybe in the vicinity of 20% down. However, the benefit of putting more down, you don't get what's called PMI, which is mortgage insurance, private mortgage insurance. That fee that is attached to your mortgage that protects the lender if you default. So a conventional loan doesn't have it because you put down 20%. Now you can also have what's called an FHA loan, which is backed by the federal government, Federal Housing Administration, Federal Housing Association. You can put down a smaller amount, as small as 3.5%. A lot of people will take an FHA loan because on a $200,000 house, 3.5%, that's 6,500. Am I right?
Some change. Yeah.
$6,000. Okay. So you put down a small amount of money and you can move into a home. However, with the
big difference. So let me just clarify. So conventional loan, 20% down. So on a $200,000 home, we're talking about $40,000 that you need to come up with as a down payment in addition to closing costs. Okay. What was that?
No. That you could, but you don't have to with an FHA loan. That's why they were created, to allow more people to participate in home ownership. Okay.
Right. So with the conventional, it's 20%. So on 200,000, you're looking at 40,000 down. Versus if you were able to get an FHA loan, you're looking at somewhere around 6,000. So you're looking at over $30,000 less for the down payment going through FHA. That's a big difference.
That's exactly right. But the only difference between the two is with an FHA loan. An FHA loan, there are more restrictions because the loan is backed by the federal government. Therefore, the house has to, the water has to be working correctly. There can't be any chip paint. There are certain standards that home has to abide by through inspections. Whereas a conventional, there are not as many restrictions to that particular loan.
So
what's best for you? They have different interest rates also.
So from what I'm hearing, and I know you're more on the real estate side, but just to break it down for the people who are listening, if you go through a conventional loan, you won't have the private mortgage insurance. You're going to pay more down, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20%. So again, on a $200,000 home, that's 40,000 that you'd have to put down. But you may have a bit of a lower monthly payment because you've knocked down a chunk of the purchase price of the property, and in addition to that, you don't have the private mortgage insurance added on to the payment. If you go through FHA, same home, $200,000, you're looking at $6,000 and some change. So you saved maybe about $30,000 up front. But this isn't going to be for like a rehab. It's going to be something that's move-in ready. You may have a little bit higher of a monthly payment, but you're paying way less up front, so you're able to keep some money in the bank. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir. In a nutshell, that's correct.
Awesome. Well, man, you've given us a lot of good information, some things to really think on. For people who are actively searching right now, they need a good real estate agent. They see this and they say, you know what, I think I want to go with the property prints. What can they expect from you as far as your level of service? And what would be the next steps?
Definitely, yeah. Well, if working with me is what you see is what you get. I'm energetic. I'm passionate about what I do. I want to help you. I want to help everyone. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to tell you what you need to do, and after that, the ball is in your court. So when you're with me, you're going to have a great experience. I'm going to take care of business. I'm going to protect your interests and the goals that you have. If you want to look at a $200,000 house, I'm not going to show you a $300,000 house to make you want to buy a $300,000 house. We're going to look at what you need to look at. Also, if you're going to sell your house, I'm going to tell you what you need to do to sell it. I'm going to show you the market stats. I'm going to show you the knowledge that I have to make sure that your home sells efficiently and quickly. That's my job. And if you want to work with me, you can definitely connect with me on Facebook. You can find my page right now. It's Property Prints Home Solutions. Right now on Facebook is where you can find me. You can also find me on Instagram at Asa, A-S-A, then underscore the, T-H-E, underscore property, underscore prints. Asa, underscore the, underscore property, prints, underscore prints. You can find me in those two places, and we can definitely connect, and you can learn more about me and what I like to do. And let's get going. Let's buy a house. Let's sell a house. Let's go.
Let's do it. Again, home ownership is key to generational wealth. And so generational wealth is a big conversation within our community right now. That's why I do it. I do with A.L. Johnson Life Insurance Agency. It's providing families with a guaranteed legacy through the use of life insurance. What Brother Barnes does here is he helps you build a legacy through home ownership. And so if buying a home or selling a home is something that's on your agenda here within the next few months, reach out to the Property Prince, Asa Barnes. He's a great guy. He knows what he's doing. He's knowledgeable, and he's here to help. And so, again, this is our first segment of our small business highlight. Definitely wanted to have Mr. Barnes on. I've been watching him for a while. He's a good guy. When I get ready to do a little something, I'll definitely you're at the top of my list, bro. You're at the top of my list. And so I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, you a singer, man. You gonna take out a couple notes on the way out, or this ain't the I'm messing with you, bro. You ain't got to sing nothing, man. They can go to your page for that. They can go to your page for that. But, I definitely appreciate having you. Any last words?
My last words is just let's let this year be a year of accomplishments. 2020 did a lot to us, but that doesn't have to be the end of your story. Do what you have to do to get what you want. This is the year to get what you want, and you can do it. I believe in you. I stand in agreement with whatever your desires are, whatever you have for your life, whatever passions. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Just keep working at it, keep grinding, and it's gonna be there.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, this is Asa Barnes. You can check me out at the Property Prince. And life insurance is important. And so if you have any questions in regards to that, listen, drop me a message. Life insurance agency. But I thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. Have a great day and enjoy your weekend.